Hello, guys, and something a bit different today. I call this Dave and Peter's journey watching the Clarets. So we talk about my journey watching the Clarets over the years and how I fell in love with the Clarets, and also talk about my granddad's journey as well. So I'm going to start with my granddad's journey first of all. His what he told me was that one day he saw a group of people walking down somewhere. He followed a group of people, and it was actually Cheltenham City Football Club, New Rickle Street. It was, and from that day on, he fell in love with the club. He went to home games all the time after work when he could. Supporting the Clarets. And over the years, he just fell in love, and he couldn't stop watching them over the years. I think, as soon as he has grandchildren, he wanted to share that passion with them. So at some point in all our lives, my brother, my sisters, and myself were actual mascots, either at New Lodge or Melbourne Park. I think me, my brother and sisters spent time on the coaches. Going places like Cushulton, Hastings, Billericay all the time. And I think myself and Grandad went to a lot of games, probably over 100 games, more than 100 games probably up to 100, 200 games, 300 games, 400 games, whatever it used to be, over the past 24 years. But he's different to most people. He didn't support a big Premiership team like West Ham or Arsenal. His team was Cheltenham City. He loved Cheltenham City. He would, go out wearing his Cheltenham City tie, wearing his, wearing his sort of, suit, sort of claret sort of suit. And he loved it. He loved watching Cheltenham City. He loved talking football with anybody. He'd go down to Kings in Chelmsford and just talk football with anybody who wanted to talk football. That's the top guy he was, And like I said, we spent a lot of time travelling in the coach to Billericay, what was home for a period of time. And we get on the coach, dock with a tin in the morning, morning, say afternoon time, between 11 or 12, to get the coach to Billericay. Get on the coach, docks up the tin, pay the money up, and I'll sit there with Grandad next to him as a youngster, and we could go to Billericay most home games, even most away games together as well. I think we were so lucky to have some good players at Piston Manuela, Gary Crosses, Minton, Oliver Quezes, some great players there. We had a great time watching. I think the amazing thing is when Chelmsford came back home to the community stadium now, Melbourne Park, and I think that's a dream come true, because of that first game against Billericay, we would have one of the best seats in the house. Main stand, people say main stand ain't great seat, but when you're a youngster, it looks so good. When you're sitting there front row, and I had the perfect view for Jamie Richards' first goal, absolute banger. And I think that he loved it. He lived literally a minute away from the ground, and he would go up in his spare time and just do anything he could to help the club. He would do cleaning. He would probably get on nerves with staff sometimes as well. Probably be a bit annoyance sometimes as well. He would do emptying bins. He would, do anything he could to be part of the club. He didn't want any sort of credit for it. He just went his own way and done his own thing, really. Once I went up there and found him stuck in a skip once, and he used to hear all the stories he'd tell me. Most of the time, getting up mischief and things like that. But over the years, obviously, I sort of took on myself to watch Cheltenham City. We would still go as he grew older, and I sort of grew into my teens. We went, together a lot more. Away days, we done some mad away days. We went to Cornwall back in one day on the coach. We've been to Wales and back. So we've been to some horrible places, and the game get called off as well. We've probably been there. I used to love Hastings away back in the day. Hastings away was a beautiful day away. I think some of my favourite memories are most recently. You got when we beat East Thurrock, I believe it was, in the cup before Colchester. I remember coming out of the stadium after this one on penalty shootouts, and I just remember I'm at the coach, waiting for the coach, and all I see is my granddad come down, celebrating like this, only to fall in a ditch. He was absolutely fine, by the way, absolutely fine, because he came out like dancing and just fist pumping. He fell straight into a ditch, and I found it hilarious on the day. Don't know why, but it was. I think the second one that really sort of like sort of comes to my mind is Dartford away. I think it was Taylor Miles' goal in the last minute from the corner. And I remember I'm celebrating, and I just hear like a wee. I look behind me, and I can see my granddad just who wasn't that mobile at the time, so he couldn't really walk that well, with like his stick in the air, and literally just running down behind me. I'm like, what is going on here? In his 80s, he's running around still with his stick in the air. I thought that's crazy. That's football. This, absolute mayhem. He loved it. He was a nightmare on the away days. Everyone's trying to sleep on the way back. He'd be singing, some sort of silly song at the front, and you'd just hear people go, "Peter, shut up!" He loved the Clarets. He would do anything. He loved it. He loved it. He loved it. And he would do anything for that club. Anything he could do to help, he would do, because he just loved being part of something special. And that's what Clarets are. It's a special club. It's a family club, a big family. So I say this all the time. I think he spent so much time watching them there. He'd even on a Sunday afternoon go and watch the local teams over Melbourne Park play. And he just loved the football. He loved watching the youngsters come through and watching the youngsters. He embedded himself as one of them ultimate Chelmsford City fans, a lifelong fan, and all he knew, he ate, slept, drink Chelmsford City because he loved it. That's what he wanted to do with his life, and he volunteered. He done some weird and amazing stuff at the club sometimes. He's telling the stories half the time, causing trouble at the club sometimes. It's sort of it was. I didn't really understand it at the time, but it was. It was amazing. It was incredible to see, and people like always go, "You're going to special," and that's what Granddad. He always been special, but to see other people say he's special was, it's incredible. Going on to my sort of journey, obviously I've been watching Chelmsford since I'm 5 years old. From New Lodge to Melbourne Park, I've been everywhere lately. Dorchesters, the Braintrees, the St Albans. I've been everywhere myself. So taking over the old leg from Grandads, I love the club. Like I said, there's always going to be bad days, but there's plenty of good days sometimes. There's plenty of good days, it's sometimes crazy to see that people don't understand what non-league football means to people. But this is what I love. This is what I love doing. I can go up to Arsenal and watch Arsenal play and enjoy it, but I find this non-league football and that claret and that togetherness of a family going to watch a game of football together, it's just different. People don't always understand it. I think it's different. I think it's cool. I think it's one of the best feelings in the world. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this bit because I don't really talk about this quite a lot, but I just love it. I love the football, and I said a few weeks ago in my lounge that I was losing my love for it. That's true. That is true. Sometimes when you're going through a bad period and watching football and we lose consistently, it's just like I'm just losing my love for it. But I still love the Clarets. I still want to see them do well. I think Granddad loved me being part of the committee, playing for the sports club team. He'd come over, come over most of the time when I wasn't playing, watching, and it's it was an incredible experience watching football. Granddad, he loved it. Even in his old age, when he couldn't walk, he was so stubborn because he didn't want to be sitting in a wheelchair. He would still go to football, try and walk. Like, no, he can't do this. And lucky for people around him that even lift up the ground to get him up the ground because he didn't want to be sitting in a wheelchair. In the end, I had to get in the wheelchair sometimes, and he didn't want to do it. He was like, "No, I don't want to go to the wheelchair. We're going to go football. You need to get in the wheelchair, so we'll get you there." And he still enjoyed it. We've gotten close to the action we can, and he still was trying to sing the songs, upbeat all the times, I just want to go like a bit behind the scenes and just tell you something if you didn't know. So last time I saw Grandad was the day before he passed away, and trying to get emotional. And the first thing he said to me is Rambo, and I'm like, okay. And the second word out of his mouth is, Dave, how is our club doing? And I'm sitting there like, you're really ill, Grandad, but you just want to talk football. I was like, oh, let's do this, And I was starting to tell him that the academy's coming on really well. It's starting to happen. Robbie's put a good team together. So even in his last sort of day, he wanted to talk football. That's how much he loved the Champions City. He wanted to talk football when the last time he saw me, and that was touching because that's how much he loved the club. That he wanted. The last time he saw me, he wanted to talk football with me. And when he passed away, I said a few weeks ago that the support from everybody at the club, from Ben and Chris at the time, from the statement they put out was lovely. From the supporters, from the Claret family, I said it the other day, it was amazing. I don't have words to describe what it felt like. Incredible. And I just feel grateful to be part of the committee, part of the supporters. I love it. I do love it, even though it's a bad day sometimes. I do love it. It will always be my home. I thought we'd give a little insight today, and maybe do a few series of this every now and then, just to give you sort of, something different. But thanks for watching. If you like it, let me know.